Hello everybody, welcome to Clary Concepts. So today in this particular lecture we are going to see two things. One is what is thermodynamics and second is what are the application areas of thermodynamics. Now we have started this series in English language. Already the Hindi language series of engineering thermodynamics is available in the YouTube channel. So from this week onwards, based on the request received from our audience, we are beginning the lecture series of engineering thermodynamics in English language. So watch the video till the end to figure out or to get the motivation of learning this subject very interestingly and conceptually. So let us first discuss what is thermodynamics. In general, thermodynamics is an entire study or it's an area of physics that is dealing with energy. And this word thermodynamics is made up of Greek word, combined of two Greek word actually. One is therm and another is dynamics, whereby therm meaning heat and dynamics meaning power. And when I say power, I mean that some ability to do work or an ability to perform any kind of task, right? So this was the ancient study going on, that people used to have heat energy available with them and they constantly figure out the ways in which this heat energy can be converted to the useful work or useful power. So this entire study of thermodynamics deals in this arena, that thermodynamics is a study of generation of power, that is useful work with the help of heat. So whatever mechanisms that you derive that can convert heat energy into useful work, all these equipments goes under the umbrella of thermodynamics. So in classical words, when you derive all these equipments, you will entitle the study of different matters. So we say that thermodynamics is a branch of physics that deals with heat and temperature and the relation to energy, work and properties of matter. Okay, so whatever intermediate mechanism that is going to be used, all this will involve some quantity of matter and their interaction with energy and work. So this is entire study that we will be looking at in the subject of thermodynamics. So after going through what is thermodynamics, and I hope now you have got an idea that what you are going to study in this subject, can you think of some applications where heat energy is involved, where work energy is involved, where the conversion of energy is involved? So you think about the day-to-day life experiences, that what equipments you are using where all these energy conversions are involved. So those all equipment will fall under the application areas of thermodynamics. Okay, let me brief you about those applications. One of the very prime application is automobiles. You all know about car, you all know about your bikes. They all propel themselves with the help of IC engine, that is internal combustion engine, wherein the fuel in form of liquid goes into the engine, the combustion takes place, the energy is then converted to the heat energy, and from heat energy the piston, it pushes the piston, and that's how the propelling mechanism transfers the force to the vehicles, the wheels of the vehicles. So this is how the entire process goes on. So while designing this propelling system for the automobile bodies, thermodynamics have played the very vital role. So one of its very prime application is in automobiles. Second, you have seen the radiator. The car radiator, which is lying mostly in the front portion of this car, has a function to cool down the coolant, particularly the water that is circulating across the cylinder of the engine. Why? Because during this particular combustion and this working of the IC engine, the cylinder wall generally gets heated, and you have to constantly remove this heat from the cylinder wall. So you circulate the cold water across the cylinder wall, and the cold water takes away the heat, and then that hot water is again has to be cooled in atmospheric air, and that will be done with the help of radiator. So when you design the radiator, you must know that what amount of water has to be cooled down by what temperatures. So all this analysis goes under the purview of thermodynamics. Another such application of day-to-day life activities, you will be using heaters, water heaters in the winter season. So when you right now you're using it, but before even people have thought of it, they were into the design phase of the water heaters. So these water heaters are actually designed in such a way that it will give you a particular flow rate of water, and that particular equipment is designed to raise the temperature of water by 20-25 degrees centigrade, so that it is sufficiently warm to so that you can take a bath out of it. So before even designing this, I mean, before people have came up with this equipment, they would have definitely thought that what exact amount of energy is to be given to this water in 1 second so that the temperature of water rises by 20-25 degrees centigrade. And that is where, I mean, that is what the exact amount of heat input that is required, either in form of electricity or in form of this gas. We all use gas geysers, right? So eventually, if you see, so this answers that what exact amount of energy is to be supplied to the water, that can be provided with the help of thermodynamics. So it has a very wide applications in designing of water heaters. We use refrigerator, we use air conditioning systems into our rooms. All the system, if you see very closely, they are designed based on thermodynamic cycles. There is something called a vapor, a VCR cycle, vapor compression and refrigeration cycles. So all these cycles are equipped with several components, and we will study in detail that how exactly the air conditioning units, how exactly the refrigeration units works. But here if you see, normally heat is transferred from a region of higher temperature to a region of lower temperature. This is about spontaneous transfer. You do not have to do anything about it. This heat will spontaneously transfer from higher temperature to lower temperature. But if you want to transfer heat from a region of lower temperature to a region of higher temperature, you have to deploy some sort of systems, some sort of engineering systems, and you have to do some work. So these air conditioning units, this refrigerator, they are all designed in such a way that they take away the heat from a region of lower temperature and they throw the heat in the region of higher temperature. So if you talk about the summer days where the temperature of the ambient is 40 degrees centigrade and you want to maintain the room at 25-24 degrees centigrade, so you deploy air conditioning units wherein the AC will constantly remove the heat from the room at 24 degrees centigrade and it will throw the heat outside the room where it is 40 degrees centigrade. Similar is for the refrigeration, but here you require some sort of work input. You are supplying the electricity, to operate these air conditioning and refrigeration units. So we will study this in details in this subject. Marine propulsions. Again, the similar example of what automobile used to do. In order to propel this marine, that is ships and boats, we have a diesel engines, and again the diesel will be converted to the it is combustion into the IC engine, and then the IC engine will propel the propellers of the ships and boats. So here also, when it comes to a design of these engines that are required to propel these ships and boats, thermodynamics plays a very vital role. Then it is heavily used in the aircrafts. At multiple places, thermodynamics plays a very vital role in particularly aviation industries. If you see aircraft, the first very important role it plays in the designing of the jet engines that are used to propel the aircraft. Second very important role thermodynamics plays particularly in designing of the fuselage. I hope you know that in the aircraft, this particular passenger aircraft travels at the altitude of around 30,000 meters, sorry 10,000 meters, around 10 kilometers from the ground level, right? So at the 10 kilometers from the ground surface, the temperature of the atmosphere is of the order minus 40 degrees Celsius, minus 50 degrees Celsius. But the human body can be feeling can be comfortable only in the region of 20 to 25 degrees centigrade. We know that. So there is a proper system that is designed in the aircraft so that even though the ambient temperature outside the aircraft is minus 50 degrees centigrade, those equipments are keeping the atmosphere within the aircraft where passengers are sitting at 20-25 degrees centigrade. So these all equipments are designed based on the principle of thermodynamics. So it has a very greater role to play in aviation industries too. There's looking at the electric bulb, that something that comes to your mind is electricity, right? The electricity that we use into our houses to run the various electrical equipments, those electricity is lively produced in some power plants, right? So if I talk about the electricity or energy sector in India particularly, you can see this pie chart. This pie chart has been derived from the website of Ministry of Energy, and you can see that the electricity that we are using into our houses, so almost 75% of the electricity is coming from the coal. When I say coal, it means there are power plants where the coal is burned and electricity is produced, right? So they are known as coal based thermal power plants. So in India, 75% of the electricity that we are using is coming out from the coal-based thermal power plant. Then 10% is coming out from the hydropower, that is hydropower plants. 6% is coming out from the windmills. 3% through solar power plants, that is solar panels, and 8% through other modes of sources. So if you see this heavy portion and heavy chunk is coming through the coal, that is 75%. So this entire mechanism of converting an energy from coal into electricity, there are a typical power plant, there are main four components into the power plant, and the study of all these four components will be based on a cycle called Rankine cycle. And we will study in a great detail what is the Rankine cycle and how the efficiencies of each component is derived. And all this study falls under the purview of thermodynamics. We are going to study all this in great detail. One of the very closest example to our human body. Our body also uses thermodynamics. You all know that body is made up of a lot of arteries and veins through which the blood is constantly flowing. And you might have also seen that our body radiates heat constantly to the atmosphere. That is called metabolism, right? So whatever food we take into our body, it gets converted to the work that we do for regular activities. And second, it radiates the heat through our body constantly in order to maintain the body temperature. So you know about body temperature is a normal body temperature is around 37 degrees centigrade. So in summer days, if you see where temperature of the atmosphere goes above 37, that is when it goes beyond 40, 42 or 43, we start feeling uncomfortable, and that is where the we start coming out with the perspiration, right? So perspiration is a mechanism actually in the physical science by the virtue of which the body keeps their temperature at 37 and tries to cool down, right? So you have seen that we feel more perspiration in the summer days. So this is entirely because of and if you want to study all these mechanisms, you have to deal with thermodynamics. In fact, there is a different term given to this thermodynamics called biological thermodynamics. So all these studies takes place on a particular biological processes. Those thermodynamics is given a different word called biological thermodynamics. Then it is heavily used in sports as well. I'm very much sure that particularly Indians are very much fond of cricket. And you have seen that the swing of cricket ball takes place because of the seam available on the cricket ball and the release angle that a bowler releases the ball. But if you see most of the, I am very much sure you have seen this, when the condition is overcast, when temperature of the ground is very much low and condition is overcast and humid particularly, normally captains of the team tries to bowl first. Okay, they do not try to bat first. Why? Because they inherently knows that in the overcast condition, in the condition where temperature of the air is very low, the air is very heavy in sense, and when air is heavy, the swing of cricket ball is much more compared to swing of cricket ball in the lighter air. So just to take an advantage of more swing of the cricket ball, they try to bowl first. So this is the applications where thermodynamics plays a role in the sports as well. So I hope looking at this all the applications of thermodynamics, now you have got that energy, and you might have got motivated to learn this subject conceptually. And if your interest lies in any of these fields, I'm very much sure these subjects will help you a lot in the future aspects. So let me refer you some reference books of this subject. One of the reference book of the subject is Engineering Thermodynamics by P.K. Nag. You can refer this book as far as the numericals are concerned. But the theoretical explanation is not that good in this book, but numericals are really good. So you can use this book to solve numericals and try to understand how different numericals can be solved. This is another good book, Thermodynamics and Engineering Approach by Yunus Engel and Michael Bowles. Normally this book is heavily preferred by GATE aspirants, by IES aspirants, and someone who is really interested in solving their conceptual doubts as far as the subject is concerned. So I would heavily recommend this book for somebody who is at beginner level and would like to understand the subject from conceptual perspective. So ये book बहुत ज़रूरी है. And third book is Fundamental of Engineering Thermodynamics by Michael Moran and Howard Shapiro. So this is another good book, but this is a book of next level compared to the book by Sengel. So I would recommend at first you go with this book of Sengel, and if you are really interested in the subject, then you again go and read this book of Moran and Shapiro. So with this, I'll end this session over here. So if you like this video, I would like to request you to share this with maximum students, with maximum of your friends who are in need and would like to learn this subject from conceptual perspective. And we are going to continue this series till the end of the subject. So each week you will have 2 videos on thermodynamics. So stay tuned for further video and hope to see you in the next lecture. Thank you.